This was an investigation that should have never taken place. You have guys like Comey, you have McCabe, you have Strzok, you have his lover Lisa Page, you have all of these people running around. You have Brennan and Clapper who lied to Congress. You have many, many people. You have people that change documents going into the FISA courts. And it's a terrible thing.
Yes, it is a terrible thing that all these people have committed all these crimes and they totally get away with it. That's the hypocrisy that I'm talking about here that the left has. I mean, Roger Stone did not do anything out of the ordinary, and definitely not worse than the crimes that these other people committed. And this president here is constantly attacked about everything he does. President Obama, he commuted the sentences of 1,385 people in his 2 terms in office, whereas President Trump has commuted the sentences of only 10. And he is nearing the end of his 1st term. So that being said, maybe Donald Trump should have probably commuted about almost 700 by now just to be on par with Barack Obama. But they're calling this a travesty. So that being said, that's what this here is about. It's about commutations and my take on what the Constitution says and my understanding of the Constitution, because I was not able to really find too many cases that talks about presidential powers of pardoning, commutation, clemency, and things like that. So that being said, the Humbugger is about to start this video. Let's go, people.
President's Corey Brettschneider. He's here with his latest piece for The Atlantic entitled "The Traditional Interpretation of the Pardon Power is Wrong."
So here's a man who writes a book on the oath in the office, giving advice to presidents. And all of a sudden, Donald John Trump gets into office and he writes a book, Why the Traditional Interpretation of the Pardon Power is Wrong. The traditional interpretation of the pardon power is all of a sudden wrong. Traditional means that that's what has always been going on, just like how they have Supreme Court precedent. I mean, this guy seems like a joke. Let's keep going.
Why do you think the president's use of power here was unconstitutional or unlawful when commuting Roger Stone's sentence?
The pardon power is traditionally thought to be unlimited.
Why do you think the president's use of power was unconstitutional or unlawful? Is that a serious question? Of course it's not. Think about it. The president's power and authority derives from the Constitution, which is our highest law of the land. And Article 2, Section 2 clearly states, he shall have the power to grant reprieves and pardons for the offenses against the United States. So it matters not whether Roger Stone is innocent, guilty, friend, or foe. The president is well within his constitutional authority to do so. So let's see what this guy/clown has to say next.
There's one instance that the Constitution gives that says actually there is a limit, and that's cases of impeachment. It says except in cases of impeachment.
He's absolutely right. Except in cases of impeachment. Roger Stone is not the president of the United States. Roger Stone cannot be impeached. Boy, that's a stretch. Now, folks, this guy is the ultimate straw man. I mean, where does MSNBC find these people? If that was the original intent of the Constitution, our founding fathers were very well thought out. I mean, they thought that book out pretty well when they did it. There were lots of debates on it. I think they would have added that to the text.
The framers were worried about a president that could take a co-conspirator, work with them, promise a pardon, and get away with breaking the law. And we're saying not just that some of the framers were worried about this, not just that the text is there that would allow us to stop that.
Not to say the framers weren't worried about this, and not that the text, ain't that what I said before? The text is not there to be able to stop him. So, let's see what the interviewer has to say next.
So how does the president get away with this, Corey?
You know, it's an incredible thing that over time people have thought that the power is so great that he could do anything, even really commit a crime in broad daylight.
Did you see how smug she was? So, how does the president get away with this? Didn't I just read it? It is written in the Constitution of the United States, where your straw man is trying to make it seem like our president is some kind of murderer that's going to go around and shoot people in the head in broad daylight. How do people even listen to these people?
But that it's illegal, it's invalid, it's unconstitutional.
So once again, it sounds to me like what you're saying, this is also falling on one's own interpretation.
You know what? Maybe she just put a little smile on my face. Because you know what? She finally said a little truth. What it really boils down to is one's own interpretation. But actually, just go by the strict wording of the text. Shall have.
So what does that mean ultimately? Because there's so much gray area when it seems like something like this should be black and white.
Hey, sweetheart. It is in black and white. He shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. You impeached Donald Trump. I'm sure you were down with it by what you sound like. Roger Stone was convicted. It's a little bit different. Quite a bit different, actually.
Any seventh grader who studied civics knows that we were trying to avoid absolute monarchy, that even the British had limits on the king, and that certainly the Americans who founded this country were trying to get away from the idea of absolute monarchy and to stress the idea of a limited presidency. We don't have a king.
No, we don't have a king. But he must have forgotten this statement from a recent former president, courtesy of C.
I'm going to be working with Congress where I can to accomplish this. But I'm also going to act on my own if Congress is deadlocked. I've got a pen to take executive actions where Congress won't, and I've got a telephone to rally folks around the country on this mission.
And there you have it. Did President Trump have the presidential power and authority vested in him by the Constitution to commute Roger Stone's sentence? Yes, he did. It's in black and white. No matter how they try to spin it, the proof is in the pudding. Right there in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution. He shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States. Okay, well, if you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and family to give them the full story of different articles that go on today. And also subscribe to my channel, the Humbug Lefty channel. And we will do everything we can to keep a bug in your ear and you up to date on everything that's going on around your country. And y'all have a good day and good night and a blessed week. Humbugger signing out.